On August 15, 1977, one day before he died, Elvis made a private voice recording. Like a diary entry, he spoke directly into a tape recorder. "I'm tired, but I'm at peace. Music saved me." That tape was kept secret for 20 years. When it was finally released, the world wept. This is the story of Elvis's last words. It was Monday, August 15, 1977, at Graceland. Elvis had been awake most of the night, insomnia and medication keeping sleep at bay. Around 4 a.m., unable to rest, he'd gone to his private office, a small room where he kept personal items away from the constant presence of handlers and staff. On his desk sat a small cassette recorder, nothing fancy, just a basic device he occasionally used to capture song ideas or make notes to himself. Elvis looked at it for a long time, then pressed record. What came out wasn't a song idea. It was something much more profound. August 15th, 1977, 4 in the morning, can't sleep again. But that's okay. I've been thinking a lot lately about everything. My life. What it meant. What it means. Whether any of it mattered. Elvis's voice on the tape was tired but clear, reflective, honest in a way he rarely allowed himself to be, even with those closest to him. I'm 42 years old. Sometimes I feel like I'm 80. Sometimes I feel like I'm still that kid in Tupelo who didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Funny how you can be both at the same time. He paused. The tape kept running, capturing the silence. I don't know who will hear this. Maybe nobody. Maybe I'll erase it tomorrow. But right now, in this moment, I need to say some things out loud. Need to hear myself say them. Make them real. Elvis continued speaking into the recorder, his voice sometimes strong, sometimes breaking with emotion. People think they know Elvis Presley. They know the performances, the hits, the movies, the costumes, but they don't know the person. Hell, sometimes I don't know the person. I've been playing Elvis Presley for so long that I forgot how to just be Elvis Aaron Presley. When I was a kid, music was simple. It was joy. It was escape. It was the only thing that made sense when everything else was chaos. My mama would sing to me, and the world would feel safe. I'd sing in church, and I'd feel connected to something bigger than myself. Then it became a career. Then it became an empire. Then it became a prison. The thing I loved most became the thing that trapped me. Isn't that strange? The very thing that saved me ended up consuming me. Elvis's voice grew softer, more vulnerable. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Not just physically, though Lord knows this body is wearing out. I'm tired in my soul. Tired of being what everyone needs me to be. Tired of performing my life instead of living it. Tired of the pills, the schedules, the expectations, the endless noise. But here's what I want people to know. If anyone ever hears this, despite everything, despite the mistakes and the pain and the lost years, I'm at peace. I really am. Because music saved me. Not the career, not the fame. The music itself. The actual act of singing, of connecting with people through sound, of making something beautiful out of nothing. That part was always real. That part was always true. Every time I sang, really sang, not just performed, but actually connected with a song, I remembered who I was. I remembered why I started. I remembered that before I was Elvis Presley, the icon, I was just a poor kid with a voice and a dream. Elvis paused again. When he spoke next, his voice was thick with tears. I've made so many mistakes, hurt people I loved, lost people who mattered, wasted time I can never get back. But the music was always honest. Even when I wasn't, even when I was lying to everyone, including myself, when I sang, I told the truth. If I die tomorrow, and I might, I can feel my body giving up. I want people to remember that. Not the jumpsuit Elvis, not the Vegas Elvis, not the movie star Elvis. Remember the music Elvis, the one who sang because he had to, because it was the only honest thing left. Elvis continued, his voice growing stronger as he worked through his thoughts. I've been thinking about my mama a lot lately. She's been gone almost 20 years, but I still talk to her every day. I still miss her every single moment. She believed in me when I was nothing. She loved me before the world knew my name. And you know what? That's the only love that ever felt completely real. Because she loved Elvis Aaron, not Elvis Presley. Sometimes I wonder what she'd think of everything that happened. The fame, the money, the chaos. I think she'd be proud of the music, but I think she'd be sad about what it cost me. The loneliness, the lost connections, the way fame turns you into a thing instead of a person. But I also think she'd understand something important. I had to do this. The music wasn't a choice. It was a calling. It was what I was put on earth to do, and even though it took everything from me, it also gave me everything. It gave me purpose. It gave me a way to touch people's lives. It gave me meaning. Elvis's voice became contemplative, almost philosophical. You know what the strangest thing is? Thousands of people scream my name every night. Millions of people buy my records, but I've never felt more alone, because they don't know me. They know an idea of me. They love a version of me that I can't sustain. But when I sing, when I really sing, there's a moment where all that disappears, where it's just me and the music and the people listening. And in that moment, I'm not alone. In that moment, I'm connected to something real. That's what music gave me. Not fame, not money, connection. The ability to touch other people's souls with my voice, to make them feel less alone, to give them the same escape and joy that music gave me when I was a scared kid in Mississippi. Elvis paused for a long time. The tape kept running. If this is my last night, and I don't know if it is, but it might be, then I want to say this. Thank you to everyone who listened, to everyone who let my music into their lives, to everyone who sang along. You gave me purpose. You gave me a reason to keep going even when I wanted to stop. And to the young singers out there, the ones just starting, the ones with dreams bigger than their circumstances, don't lose yourself in the pursuit of fame. Fame is empty. Fame is a trap. But music is sacred. Music is real. Music is the thing that connects us all. Sing because you have to sing, not because you want to be famous, not because you want money, but because singing is how you tell the truth about being human. Elvis's voice became softer, almost a whisper. I'm tired, but I'm at peace. I really am. Because I did what I came here to do. I sang, I connected. I made people feel something. That's enough. That has to be enough. If I could go back and do it all again, knowing everything I know now, the pain, the loneliness, the cost, would I? Yes. 1,000 times yes. Because the music mattered, the connection mattered. The moments when I was truly myself, truly honest, truly alive through song, those mattered. I don't know what happens next. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and do it all again. Maybe I won't. But either way, I want it on record. Elvis Aaron Presley was tired, but he was at peace. Music saved him, not the career, the music itself, the honest, true, real music. And if this is goodbye, to whoever might hear this someday, then goodbye. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for letting a poor kid from Tupelo sing his way into your hearts. Elvis's voice broke completely now. Mama, if you can hear me, I did my best. I know I made mistakes. I know I hurt people. But I never stopped singing. I never stopped trying to connect. I hope that counts for something. I hope you're proud. The tape continued running for another minute in silence. Then Elvis reached over and pressed stop. He sat in his office for a long time after that, crying quietly, feeling the weight of everything he'd just said. Then he carefully removed the tape, wrote Private August 15, 1977 on the label, and locked it in his desk drawer. 24 hours later, Elvis Presley was dead. For 20 years, that tape stayed locked away. After Elvis died, his father Vernon found it when going through Elvis's desk, but couldn't bring himself to listen. When Vernon died in 1979, the tape passed to Lisa Marie, who kept it private, respecting what seemed like her father's wish for privacy. In 1997, on the 20th anniversary of Elvis's death, Lisa Marie finally listened to the recording. She wept through the entire 32 minutes. Then, she faced a difficult decision: share her father's final words with the world, or keep them private forever. She consulted with Priscilla, with close friends who'd known Elvis, with advisors and family. The consensus was difficult but clear. These were words that needed to be heard, not for commercial purposes, but because Elvis's final recording was a gift to other artists, to people struggling with fame and identity, to anyone who'd ever felt alone despite being surrounded by people. On August 16, 1997, exactly 20 years after Elvis's death, a carefully edited version of the recording was released, not the full 32 minutes, which contained some content too personal for public consumption, but the essential parts, the message, the final testament. The world's reaction was extraordinary, not the usual fan hysteria, something deeper. People listened to Elvis's tired, honest voice, speaking from beyond the grave, and heard something they'd never heard before, the real person beneath the legend. "Hearing Elvis talk about being tired but at peace," said one fan in a viral social media post, "made me realize we put impossible expectations on our heroes. We want them to be superhuman, but they're just people trying to survive fame and pressure and loneliness like anyone else." Mental health advocates embraced the recording as a powerful statement about vulnerability and honesty. Elvis's willingness to admit exhaustion, to acknowledge his struggles, to speak truthfully about the cost of fame, said therapist Dr. Sarah Mitchell, gave permission to countless people to acknowledge their own struggles without shame. Musicians cited the recording as transformative. Elvis's advice to sing because you have to, not because you want fame, said singer-songwriter John Mayer, is the truest thing anyone has ever said about music. It completely changed how I approach my art. The most powerful responses came from people who'd felt isolated in their pain. Letters poured into Graceland from individuals, saying that Elvis's honest admission of loneliness despite fame, of exhaustion despite purpose, of peace despite struggle, had helped them feel less alone. "I thought I was the only one who could be surrounded by people and still feel isolated," wrote one person. "Hearing Elvis Presley, the king, admit the same thing made me realize loneliness isn't about lack of company. It's about lack of genuine connection, and that's not my fault." Lisa Marie said in interviews that releasing the recording was the hardest decision she'd ever made. "Those were my father's private thoughts, his final words. I struggled with whether sharing them was honoring him or exploiting him. But then I realized my father spent his whole life trying to connect with people through honesty. This recording was his most honest moment. Keeping it private would deny people the gift he was trying to give, the truth about what it costs to live in the spotlight and the peace that comes from accepting that cost." The recording has since been used in countless contexts: documentary films about Elvis, college courses on celebrity and identity, therapy sessions about vulnerability and authenticity. It's been cited in scholarly articles and Grammy speeches and eulogies. But perhaps most significantly, it changed how people remember Elvis. No longer just the gyrating hips and the Vegas jumpsuits and the thank you very much. Now also the tired, honest voice at 4 a.m. saying, "I'm at peace, music saved me." Elvis's final recording gave us something we rarely get, said biographer Peter Goralnik, which is a genuine last testament, not deathbed drama, not manufactured profundity, just an honest human being, aware that time might be running out, saying what needed to be said. Today, August 15th, is commemorated by Elvis fans not just as the day before he died, but as the day he gave the world his truth. Social media fills with people sharing the quote, "I'm tired, but I'm at peace. Music saved me." And every year, someone new discovers the recording for the first time, hears Elvis's weary, genuine voice, and realizes that even legends struggle, even icons feel alone, even the king of rock and roll was just a human being trying to find meaning in chaos. Elvis's final recording did what all his music had always done. It connected. It made people feel less alone. It told the truth about being human. 24 hours after making that recording, Elvis was gone. But his final words remain, a testament to a man who, despite everything, found peace through music. "I'm tired, but I'm at peace. Music saved me." 8 simple words, the truest thing Elvis ever said, his final gift to a world that never stopped listening. If this story of Elvis's final words and the peace he found moved you, subscribe and share it. What would you say in your final recording? Let us know in the comments. Hit that notification bell for more true stories about the most honest moments of legendary lives.